Hello, guys. Today I want to talk to you about taxes and VAT to be specific, VAT, otherwise known as value added tax. So, if you are setting up a business, there are some businesses that do not attract VAT based on the activity that you are registered for or you are engaging in for a business. So, if you are engaging if you are into medical supplies, pharmacies, and medicine, or hospital, clinic, if you are operating anything under health, most likely you are not supposed to pay VAT on your services. Also, if you are into poultry, cattle rearing, basically farming, that has to do with animal rearing. There are some parts that are inclusive and some that are not, but generally if you are into farming or poultry or birds, you would also be exempted from VAT. There are quite a number of them. Also transportation, when you go to the GRA portal, you know a whole list of them. If you are dealing with construction, land and buildings, you don't also have to pay VAT on them. So that's good news for you people who want to set up their business and then would want to reduce as much as possible how much taxes they are supposed to be paying. These are some of the businesses that you can venture into. So that's for information. Also, there are two types of taxes that you can pay on VAT based on what you're doing. So I'll talk to you about standard VAT and then flat rate VAT. So for basically flat rate is for retailers, those who buy and sell in bits, in small quantities. Those ones you are supposed to pay a flat rate on your VAT, which currently is 4%. And then the standard VAT is a bit the way of calculating it. So with the standard VAT, if you are producing as manufacturing or you are into service, that you are supposed to pay VAT, especially the hotel industries, VAT, standard VAT, that you are supposed to pay, or you sell on wholesale, that you are supposed to pay a standard VAT. Standard VAT is 2.5% NHIL, which is National Health Insurance Levy, 2.5% GET Fund, which is Ghana Education Trust Fund, and 1% COVID levy. That's 6%. So you apply that 6% on your ex-VAT amount. You add that value to it, and then you calculate a VAT rate of 15%. So in total, you are paying around 21.9%. Yeah, when you do the straight calculation, it's actually 21.9%. So that's for the standard VAT also. I want you to also know that in Ghana, paying your taxes is very much essential for your business. If you do not pay, the GRA has the authority to close down your business. Actually, they will come and lock your place. You don't want that happening to you. So you have to stay in touch and then make sure you are up to date with your taxes. So that's VAT for you, basically those who are operating business on a daily basis. And there are also VAT on export and imports, but I will not go to that for today. If you are operating a business within the country, these are the two main VAT that you may be exposed to, the flat rate and the standard rate VAT. I also want to talk to you about a PY. So if you have employed people in your company or your business, you have to also pay a tax on their salaries. It's called PAY, pay as you earn. So there's also a way of calculating. There's a schedule for that that is being given to calculate how much you're supposed to pay on each amount. However, you cannot set a basic salary of an employee below 402 Ghana cedis. That is a tax-free area on the PAY schedule, right? And also running your business in terms of taxes. Basically, these are the things that you might need. At the end of the day, you also need, at the end of the year, you also need a CIT, what we call corporate income tax, if you are operating as a limited company. With the CIT, what happens is that you are supposed to do what we call a self-assessment, or the GRA will suggest an assessment for you in the beginning of the year. So for example, we are in 2023, the GRA will give you a tax to pay at the beginning of the year. So you can pay that amount in bits or even pay fully, so that at the end of the year, you write your account to them, and then they can, based on that account, to reassess you again to see the difference between the amount that you have paid and how much you are actually supposed to pay based on the profit that you have made. So the difference you either pay on top or it will be carried forward to the next year for you. That's when if you have paid more, it will be credited to you for the following year. The law allows the GRA to do this. By law, they are not supposed to wait for you to make profit before they will charge you tax. At the beginning of the year, they will put a tax on you that you have to pay. Don't fight with them. It's law. It's by law. They have to do. They are mandated to do that. Also, if you are dealing with the GRA, all forms of taxes that you are supposed to pay are different. They all come in certain times that you have to file and pay. So for example, the VAT, you are supposed to pay VAT 1 month in arrears. So we are in September now. So VAT for August should be paid no later than the last working day of September. File and paid for. So this means that you can take the VAT money that you have taken for August, you used to still run your business, and then you give it back to the government by the end of September. So you almost like have at least 30 days to use that money, invest it back into your business. At least the law is lenient with VAT. So you might not want to evade the payment of your VAT. It's very important. So that's the time frame and the deadlines for payment of VAT. Also, there's a deadline for payment of PAY, pay as you earn, which is tax on salaries. So what happened on the PAY side is that when you pay salaries for the month of August, as we are in September, the month of August salary that you have paid for, by the 15th of next month, which is by the 15th of September, you should have filed and paid for PAY for August. So that's also the deadline that you need to know, so that you don't default. When you default, there's a strict penalty of 500 cedis and then an interest of 10 cedis every day, compounding. Yes, it's serious. So when you default, when you don't file and pay, however, you can file and then wait to pay during the before the deadline. But if you pay after the deadline, you may also attract interest, even though you have filed. So the timing for the payment is very important in your tax payment. I want you to note that one down. It's very important. So VAT is paid 30 days after, and then the PAY is also paid 15 days after the end of the month. So that is it. One last thing I want you to also know before I end this section is that by the end of every year, not later than the first quarter of the following year or the subsequent year, you should have presented your accounts to the GRA. Yes, as a business, whether you are enterprise or you are a limited company, you should present your account at the end of every year. So for example, in 2022, whatever transpired in there should be presented by first quarter of 2023. So by now you are in September 2023, you should have sent your account for 2022 by March or latest. That there's a deadline. Actually, they have 1 month that you can still use to present your account, which is up to April 30th. They mostly bring out circulars to remind people to file, to submit their account. However, if you are not able to do so within that stipulated time, you also have the right to write to the GRA that there will be a delay. In that case, you keep a copy. You send 2 copies, 1 copy to them, they stamp 1 copy for you to keep, so that in the near future, if there is an issue of whether you delayed in submitting your report or your account, you have a defense that you seek permission for that. If you do not do that, there are also penalties that you might also have to pay. I'll end it. There's a section here for today. This is a tax for your business. Get interactive with me, and then I'll answer your questions about your taxes for your business. Thank you.